and welcome to another episode of The Word for Kids. I'm Jaymie and I'm guiding you through the book of Genesis in a series of 20 episodes. Last week we learned all about some famous twins from the Bible, Jacob and Esau. We learned that the older twin, Esau, sold his birthright to his barely younger brother Jacob for a bowl of soup and some bread. Today we'll find out what happened next. Are you ready for today's adventure? Let's go! So, as we said before, Jacob had his brother Esau swear to him his birthright in exchange for food when he was very hungry. Some time had passed and Isaac, the twins' father, was nearing the end of his life. In those days, when a father was dying, he would give a blessing to his oldest son, so the time had come for Isaac to do this. He was blind now, which means he could not see. He called for his son Esau. When Esau came to him, Isaac told him to go into the country, hunt some wild game, and prepare a tasty meal so that he could give Esau his blessing before he died. Esau agreed and went on his way. Now Rebekah heard the conversation between Isaac and Esau. Remember in the last episode we talked about Isaac and Rebekah each having a favorite son? Isaac loved the wild game his son Esau hunted, so Esau was his favorite. Rebekah, however, loved Jacob more because he stayed back in the tents and spent time with her. Well, here's where this favoritism gets the best of Rebekah. When she heard that Isaac asked for Esau to make food for him so he could give him his blessing, she went to her favorite son, Jacob. She asked him to get 2 of the best goats and bring them to her to prepare a tasty meal for his father Isaac. Then she presented him with her plan. Take the food to Isaac and receive his father's blessing before he died. Jacob questioned her, saying, I would appear to be tricking him. Here, Jacob knew full well what he was going to do to deceive his father, but he wanted to pretend to be innocent. Sadly, it was his own mother who further encouraged his deceit. She prepared the food, took Esau's best clothes, and placed them on Jacob. Then she covered his hands and neck with goatskin. She did this because, as you might remember from last time, Esau was very hairy. So because Isaac was blind and couldn't see for himself when he felt the hair on Jacob's hands and neck, he would think it was his hairy son Esau. So Jacob went to his father and said he was his brother Esau. Isaac wanted Jacob to come near to him to find out if he really was Esau. He felt his son's hands and said, the voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are of Esau. Isaac asked if he really was his son Esau, and Jacob lied again. I am, he said. When Isaac smelled the clothing on Jacob, which was Esau's, he blessed him. Many nations will serve you, and peoples bow down to you. Those who curse you will be cursed, and those who bless you will be blessed. Have you ever lied to your parents? Most kids do this at one time or another. How does that make you feel? In the moment, you might feel like you got away with something. You might be happy that you got what you wanted or you didn't get into trouble. But how do you feel as the days go on? Do you feel guilty? Does it make you feel closer or more distant from your parents when you lie to them? God's plan for our lives is truth, not lies. And if you make a habit of lying, trouble will find you. Maybe the person you're lying to will believe you, but the guilt will eat you up because you know you've done something wrong. You distance yourself from your loved ones and from God when you lie. Our memory verse for today will remind us about this. Okay, back to the story. When Jacob left his father, his brother Esau came in from hunting. He prepared food for his father as he was asked and brought it to him. Esau asked Isaac to sit up and eat so he could give him his blessing. At that moment, Isaac began to tremble violently because he realized he had given his blessing to the wrong son, to Jacob. Esau burst out with a loud and bitter cry when he heard his father had already given his blessing. So Jacob had now deceived his own twin brother twice. First when he took his birthright for a bowl of soup, and then again when he took his blessing. Remember when Jacob was born grasping the heel of his brother? The name Jacob actually means he grasps the heel, which was a Hebrew term for someone who deceives or takes advantage of someone else. It seems Jacob lived up to his name, and his brother even pointed this out to Isaac, his father. Isn't he rightly named Jacob? Don't you have a blessing left for me? While Isaac was devastated at what happened, he had already said his blessing. He replied, I have made him lord over you. This meant Jacob would rule over Esau. This fulfilled what God had told their mother Rebekah years ago before they were born. The older would serve the younger. Isaac went on to tell Esau that he had already blessed Jacob with servants, food, and wine. When Esau begged for another blessing for him, Isaac wept. This means he cried a lot, and he said, "Your dwelling will be away from the earth's riches, away from the dwelling of heaven above." Devastated at all he had lost, Esau's anger toward his brother began to grow inside of him. Esau held a grudge. Oh, that sound means it's time for the word of the day.
Grudge. Now that's the feeling of hatred and really wanting to get even with someone. Grudge.
Thank you. Okay, so Esau held a grudge against his brother because of what he had done to him. This anger became so intense that Esau planned to kill Jacob after his father Isaac died. We haven't done a challenge in a few episodes, but I'd like to give you one this time. If you're holding a grudge against someone, if you feel so angry you want bad things to happen to that person, talk to a parent or trusted leader who can help you through your feelings. They can help you decide if it's safe to talk to the person who did something to upset you or hurt you. And if it is, they can help you work toward rebuilding that relationship. If it isn't safe for you to talk to the person who hurt you, your parent or your trusted leader can help you handle your feelings about the person and take the steps needed to make you feel safe again and lose some of that anger. Now it's time for the verse to remember. This week's verse is from Psalm 34, verses 12 and 13. Whoever of you loves life and desires to see many good days, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from telling lies. One more time. Whoever of you loves life and desires to see many good days, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from telling lies. Psalm 34, 12 and 13. That's all the time we have for this episode. See you again soon for another episode of The Word for Kids.